feet, and then you place your hands with your palms up, kind of in an energetic receiving position. This is just, you can participate at whatever level you are comfortable, but anyway, just begin by noticing your breath, breathing in and out through your nose, generally taking about 6 seconds in and 6 seconds out. And just kind of be aware. You can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. And just cultivate awareness. Generally, as we are aware of all of the people around us, that we just cultivate an attitude of gratitude for where we live, for the community in which we are part. We want to align ourselves in unity with the source of goodness and the source of power, the source of light, while acknowledging and celebrating the diversity that actually helps us to embrace one another as needing each other. We embrace diversity of opinion, diversity of experience, diversity of thought. And we have gratitude for those that came before us and those that defend and protect us now. As we breathe in and out, just be aware of all that. Take a moment and completing gratitude. The light in me bows humbly to the light in you. Namaste.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ekstrom. We'll now have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council would now be looking for a motion to approve the December 17th, 2019 City Council minutes.
I move that we accept the December 17, 2019 City Council meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion or amendments? Not. All in favor of approving the December 17th, 2019 council minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We'll now move to the second item on our agenda, which is public comments. I would encourage you to read the back of your agenda. We surely won't be rude, but we would like to have you limit your comments as outlined on the back of your agenda. So at this point in time, we'll open up our meeting for public comments. Would you come to the podium and state your name and address, please?
Excuse me, thank you.
Yes, I'm Patricia Repstall, 2776 North, 1400 East in North Ogden. I bring just two topics real quickly to the council tonight. First one is about radon and radon testing. My husband has been exercising in the basement this winter and has had hoarseness and coughing. So we bought a radon detector and put it in our basement. And it registered about 8 times the healthy limit for radon. So we're up just we're just north of the burn pit in that area. And so we immediately called a remediation company to find out more details. They came out today and put in a new remediation system for us, something just over $1,400. We also brought that radon tester upstairs to see what it was like in our kitchen, our dining room, and our bedrooms. And that measured 5 times the healthy limit for radon. So my question is, I have not seen North Ogden City do too much awareness about radon. And so my suggestion would be that we do a little bit of investigating and let the residents know that we have a problem. The Utah Department of Environmental Quality, when they pull up the zip code testing for 84414, they show that almost 50% of the testings that they see from North Ogden and our zip code come up right at the healthy level and 50% are above the healthy level. And so when we do our North Ogden connections and we talk month in and month out about flood zones every month, I would suggest that maybe we start looking at radon testing for North Ogden. So right now, our neighbors are just stunned at the readings that we had at our house, and now everybody is scrambling for a detector to see if they have a problem as well. So that's suggestion number one. Suggestion number two is, every time we have an election in North Ogden City, there are folks that talk about all the development in North Ogden and what are we going to do about it. I previously was on the Kaysville City Planning Commission, so I know there's not much you can do to stop it. You can just make it smart development. But we lived in New Jersey for 25 years and came back here to retire. And in New Jersey, especially where we lived, they did the Homeland Preservation Program in New Jersey, where they used state, federal, and local funding to buy the development rights of farms. And I have information I'll leave you with you tonight on that. We lived in two different counties in New Jersey. I have those maps here. The darker areas indicate all of the farms that have been, the development rights have been bought. And that would be a suggestion for some of the prime farmland that we have left in North Ogden, especially the ones that have got the beautiful vistas. Finding a way to look at some smaller program than what this was, because New Jersey has a little bit bigger program. But I would suggest we look into that. And so I'll leave this with you tonight, and you can take a look at it and see if that's a possibility for North Ogden City.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your interest in North Ogden and its citizens. We appreciate that. Do we have any other public comments this evening? All right. We will proceed then with our agenda. Now for the most exciting thing of the year, the discussion of the North Ogden Audit Report. Presenter will be our Director of Finance, Evan.
We get a lot of jokes directed at us in the finance department.
We can do that
That's
because
okay.
we're one of you, right?
That's right. We're thankful to be to a point where we can present the financial statements for the fiscal year 2019. We put together a little presentation here, so we'll walk through that and hopefully we'll answer any questions that you have. Does this advance to?
The other one over here.
Does this one?
This one does.
Okay. So each year the city is required to issue financial statements that explain the current standing of the city as far as finances go. The financial statements are required by the state and governed by standards set by GASB, which is the Governmental Accounting Standards Board, and then also our local policies. As part of the financial, we issue statements, but they must also be audited. So we have an independent auditor that comes in to review our financial statements. They also take a look at our internal controls and financial processes. They evaluate how well we do at complying with regulations, and they render an opinion. Their opinion is not necessarily an opinion of how good our standing is, but whether or not our financial statements fairly present what's happening in the city. So our auditor is actually here tonight, David Rogers, and after I go through this presentation, he'll come up and share a few things with you as well. And you're welcome to ask questions of him too. I also need to acknowledge the help of all of our staff, department managers and management, and our city treasurers here. She has done a lot to help us with this audit and our financial operations throughout the year. So in the financial statements, we have the auditor's report. We have a management discussion and analysis, which is put together by staff, just highlighting some of the things that the financial statements show. We have the actual statements and then some additional information and reports that is provided toward the back of the document. So I'd like to go through a few highlights. This first one, it's pretty small print, so you can't see it very well, but this is the statement of net position. And this is basically showing where the city as a whole is at the end of the fiscal year. So our net position at June 30th, 2019